In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up 4 basic scenes in Ecamm Live to take your video production to the next level. The first scene is just sharing your camera. The second scene is sharing your camera but zoomed in. The third scene is sharing your screen. And the fourth scene is having your screen visible, but also your camera. And if you're not a fan of the circle, we can also make it a square. So in just a few minutes, you're going to know exactly how to set this up so that you can make professional video productions without having to edit at all. So let's not waste any time. Let's just do it. What you're looking at right now is Ecamm Live. It's an all-in-one video production suite that allows you to do some amazing stuff. And over to the left, we have the scenes, the camera, camera zoom, main screen, and main screen plus your camera. We're going to set all of this up from scratch. So to do that, I'm going to come here to create a new profile. Now, since I'm recording, I can't create the profile right now, but I wanted to show you where I'm going to create that new profile. So I'm on a blank scene right now. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to enable my camera. So my camera is enabled and this is my first scene. Now, if you have multiple cameras connected, you might have to come here to camera to make sure that you've selected the correct one. But this is my first basic scene. What I'm going to do is come over here. I'm going to double click and I'm going to name this camera. You can name it whatever you'd like. It's time for my second scene, the camera but zoomed in. I'm going to come down here and click on add. So now we have another scene. Once again, I'm going to select my camera, but now I want to zoom in. How do I do that? It's very simple. I'm actually going to come over here to the camera effect. Now, if for some reason you don't see this, you're going to come right here and click on effects, and now you'll have that here. Make sure the right camera is selected. In my case, once again, it's camera A. And then I'm going to select zoom and pan. When I do that, I can actually now slide this in. And let's say I want to zoom it in this much, and I can move the view of the camera. So now I have a zoomed in version of my camera, and that looks pretty good. So I'm going to come over here and name this scene Cam Zoom. So now I have my first 2 scenes. I have my camera and I have my camera zoom. And it's as easy as clicking on this to switch from one to the next. You ever see how people, when they're doing these videos, they have those jump cut edits? Well, now you can do this on the fly. And by the way, if you don't have Ecamm Live as yet, don't just get it the normal way. Make sure to use my special link at ecamm.com/Leslie, because if you do that and you use the coupon code Leslie, it's going to save you 15% off your first payment. Now, it is an affiliate link, so I do get a commission if you do use it. But hey, it actually saves you money and it helps to support the channel. Thanks in advance. But now I want to share my screen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that by coming here and clicking on plus. I'm going to name the scene screen. And then I'm going to come here and instead of clicking on the camera icon, I'm going to click on share screen. And what that does is it shares my screen. Now, this is actually kind of boring, so I'm actually going to bring up my website so that we can see that in there. And what I notice is that it has these black bars. I don't like those black bars, so I'm going to select crop to fill. Much better. Now, if you notice here, you can select whether you want it to be the primary display or a secondary display. I have 3 displays, so I can choose which one I want to show. But then you can also zoom in. So I see there's a little bit of the address bar at the top. I might not want that, so I'm going to click on plus. And that zooms it in and it can focus directly on the screen. It's a beautiful thing. I'm actually going to move this down a little bit by just clicking and dragging. And now you can see I can go from the camera to the camera zoom to the sharing of my screen. 3 scenes down, 1 to go. So I'm going to come back to the screen one. And what I'm going to do, instead of adding another scene, I'm actually just going to duplicate this current scene. I'm going to click here. So now we have copy of this and I'm going to call this screen plus cam. Now we already have the screen. All I got to do now is add the cam. How do I do that? Well, I can do that by clicking on this little icon right here. And bam, the camera has been added to the screen. I can actually move this around. I can choose a different camera if I'd like, but then I can also right click on this and I can choose how I want it to show. So right now it's wide. I can make it classic. I can decide I want it to be a square. I can decide I want it to be round. I actually kind of like round. And then I can put it where I want it to be and I can make it a little larger just by clicking and dragging. livestreaming. And just like that, we have the 4 basic scenes. But let's test it out. Scene number 1, it's just my camera. Scene number 2, it's my camera, but zoomed in. Scene number 3, we're looking at my screen. And scene number 4, screen plus cam. And once again, if you don't have Ecamm Live as yet, make sure to go to ecamm.com/Leslie, enter the promo code Leslie, and that's gonna save you 15% off your first payment. But hey, you wanna learn more about Ecamm Live to help you go from beginner to pro? Check out this next video.